So today I'm at Ice Lab right now. We usually get some bagel or coffee from Einstein Brothers, but today I've got my own pasta. This is a pesto tortellini. I'll show you. So got it in my little lunch box. Oops. Let me open it properly. This is difficult with one hand. Okay, now I have it. Here you go. Looks good. It's a bit sloppy on one side, but yeah, everything has gone to one side, but it looks good. I think it'll taste good. Pesto sauce. Just had a bite. It's really good. Very easy lunch. So I'm trying to make some eggs. This is a bit Indian style egg, fried egg with potatoes. Could be called as an egg curry, but I don't think I'm gonna make a lot of gravy. So people tend to think that anything Indian. So this is dry egg curry. I kind of put a lot of potatoes because I had a lot of potatoes at home that I've not been eating for a while. And before they go bad, I thought let me just cook it because I really don't know when I'll be cooking. I cook so less. I think today I'm cooking after like properly an Indian meal after like almost 2 weeks. Like last time I cooked was a mutton when Anupam came, and that's when I bought these potatoes. No, I think I bought these potatoes a week before he came. So now it's a long time. So I thought, okay, I have to finish these. And I had 4 eggs. So I was like, okay, I'll have few eggs and more potatoes, but I need to get this done so that, like, I can have 2 eggs today for lunch and 2 for dinner, or 2 for lunch and 2 for tomorrow's lunch if I want to have something else for dinner. But you see, this is not an egg curry, so there's no gravy in it yet. It's a bit dry. So one thing that people don't understand is that not every Indian dish is a curry. A curry is basically when something like this with vegetable or meat or egg or whatever is in gravy. When it's dipped in gravy, that's when it's a curry. But when it's dry like this, you can't call it a curry. That's not what we mean by curry when we refer to curry back in India. But this can be made into a curry when we pour water in it and then cook the whole thing in water, so the whole thing becomes a bit gravy. So I'm gonna add some water now. I have to increase the heat slightly. Yeah, I went to do my hair, but I didn't do a good job with my hair, so I reduced the heat a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna increase the heat now and pour some water so that it's a bit gravy-ish, and then I can have it like a soup also later at some point. So yeah, that's the main thing. A lot of people think that gravy, like Indian food, is only just curry, but no, that's not true. Not everything is a curry, and not everything should be referred to as curry too by even by Indians sometimes, because for lack of a word, we just go for the easy word curry. But to be honest, like in, say for example, in my culture, in Bengali culture, there are different kinds of vegetable preparations. So, and all of them have different kinds of names. So, something is called torkari, which is like a dry mixed veggies, or something with, I guess, spinach would have a different name. They all have different names. I'm not too sure of the names because they're all kind of generically called torkari in my household where I grew up with my parents. But I've heard on TV or from other people that things have different other names. Like, I don't know, I've also heard something called chechki or something. So I think those kind of names refer to some certain like key ingredients in the curry, in the preparation. I also call it curry because we are so used to generically naming it a curry that people don't understand. So curry is basically something with gravy. If the thing is soupy gravy, then it's a curry. I've seen something called subtle curry traits online trending everywhere, like on Facebook, I think even Instagram. And I think it's a bit derogatory to me. I quite don't connect with the things that they say. I think it refers to second generation Indian Americans who came to the US, like, I don't know, in the early 90s or sometime in the 90s or 2000s. I wouldn't say the 2000s that much, but I'd say 90s, because I think they also call themselves Desis. And I've also seen that Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Sri Lankans, like, I think everybody, oh, that whole subcontinent, the whole group is termed as Desis. Now, people have to understand that the word Desi comes from the word Des. Des in Hindi or Bengali, in Bengali it would be called Desh. It refers to, the word means country, like a nation, like a country. The Hindi word for country is Des. So so anybody belonging to any country is a Desi, because they are from that country. So America is a Des, India is a Des, Pakistan is a Desh, United Kingdom is a Desh, Russia is a Desh, Australia is also a continent but also a Desh. Anything, you name it, any country, every country is a Des. So anybody coming from that country is a Desi of that country. So Indians, or people speaking the language of that subcontinent, I guess when they arrived in the West, within themselves they refer to their country as Des. Yeah, so in my days we used to do this, we used to do that, and when they saw other brown people on the streets, they were like, oh, they are probably Hamare de, that means our Desi, our country people. Like, sometimes it obviously features and color gives away a person's ethnic or somewhat national background is very difficult to determine, but ethnic background, yes, you can tell sometimes by appearance, but not always. You should not assume people's ethnicity by their appearances a lot. And I find that very, very annoying. I don't like it. I don't think people should assume anybody's ethnicity through their appearance at all, because anyway, in this day and age, there's a lot of movement. Everybody is going to every country and marrying different people from different racial background, ethnic background, linguistic background. So there's a lot of mixing. Things are not that easy that we can look at somebody and tell. But then I think back then in the 90s, overall, somebody from the subcontinent, South Asian subcontinent, I would say it's a possibility. So they'd refer to them as, oh, it looks like they're from our country. So are you from my des? Are you hamare des ka, or something like that? So that way it probably came about. But I feel very generically every Indian or every Pakistani, anybody from that subcontinent or that geographical area with our kind of features and color are referred to as Desi. And it's like everybody is like grouped under that same umbrella term, when it actually means that everybody in this whole world is a Desi, because everybody belongs to some Des. So I don't think that's a very good way to refer to people. And also, I find this whole thing about curry traits a bit annoying, because I don't know, not every Indian actually eats a lot of curry. There's a lot of mixing there too. People have been trying and eating all sorts of different kinds of food. Like, for example, if you're eating dosa, that doesn't have any curry in it. So why would they be put under the umbrella term of, curry traits? Not everybody eats curry. And I feel there's a lot of misconception about the South Asian subcontinent, and there are a lot of stereotypes. So I usually tell people that there's a general trend that a lot of people try to be very westernized, and westernization is seen as equal to modernization, which is not true either. So even if you have your own traditional culture, it's very important to know it very well. Like, if you say that, oh, I don't know this or I don't know that about my culture, I don't know this or that about my language or tradition, then you can't portray the good sides, then you'll always be stereotyped under the stereotype that's been going on for decades, and things have changed over the years. Like, so always check with multiple sources. For me, it's easy because I have access to academic papers of different fields through the university, but that's not true for everybody. So scientific journals or academic papers are not available to everybody. But breakdown of those papers and reviews of those papers are very widely available for many fields online. So it's not like information is not available. If you want, a lot is, but a lot is not reliable. So that understanding, to understand what is right and what is legit, is very important. But yeah, I feel before clubbing people under one umbrella or like stereotyping people, it's very important. It's true for us too. Like, even Indians make stereotypes about other countries and people from other continents and ethnicities. I think that's wrong too. So this kind of goes both ways. So I think everybody needs to be a bit adjusting, a bit understanding, and a bit accommodating of other people, instead of just passing rude comments or stereotyping people and making assumptions based on very unreliable assumptions that people have, or preconceived notions that have been going on for decades. Like, things that were relevant 30-40 years ago are not relevant right now, and things have changed. So I think people need to have the capacity to understand the change. Anyway, now I'll show what the gravy actually looks like. And this is a curry. So if I take out the liquid portion and put it in my gravy cup separately, oh, I should show my gravy cup. My friend gave me this gravy cup for Thanksgiving. So, you know, when you make Thanksgiving gravy, you put that separately here to pour into your mashed potato or whatever, or the turkey, and have it. But so that is if the gravy is separated. Now if the gravy is not separated, then it will look like this. So the gravy here it's the soupy thing is already in the gravy, so it's with the eggs and with the potato and other vegetables like tomato and everything. So this is why this is called as a curry, because the gravy is with the potato and the main item, that's the egg in this case. So if I take out the egg and the potato and keep the gravy separately, then it'll just be just an egg preparation, not an egg curry. The gravy will be separate. But because the soup is with the main item, with the vegetable and the egg, that's why this is called as curry.